Yo, yo, what's going on, guys? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. London lows, here we come. Woo! All right, there's open. All right, here we are. All right. All right, so I think we pushed down to London here just because of SMT up here, another rejection off of midnight. Um, to me, where we rejected overnight, we have a 4 hour swing. Obviously, we put in a new high here, but if you look where we're holding, I know the daily closed bullish yesterday, but like it's kind of like we're just in this like nasty chop right now, and so I'm just gonna go like what the 4 hours telling me. And if you look at equilibrium of yesterday, you'll see that's where we're currently rejecting. Like if this was, it obviously is in an expansion candle, but I do think the draw is still lower. But it's based on yesterday going down. It makes sense for Tuesday to keep on going down. The other thing to keep in mind is the possibility of some chop. We have Nvidia earnings, I believe, tomorrow, so price could start slowing down. But obviously, there's still a good setup. It's not stopping me from anything. But still, SMT right now, SMT on the highs. We do have SMT on the lows, which drove this retrace here. Hopefully, no one got caught chasing the high here because you got to be careful. Because remember, this is it's an SMT, and we're still rejecting off of previous day equilibrium there. So, and then you got a 5 minute swing up here to kind of tell you to that where you could have got in, but I mean, I personally didn't take it, but hindsight looks good. Nice little 30-second breaker inside of here. But there's London, and we'll just go from there. So check out what the hourly's given us, what the 4 hours given us. Um, it it was I woke up and I seen the 2 a.m. candle close at 6, and I seen this 4 hour swing. So I was like, I was hesitant because there's a 15-minute breaker that we held down here off of the lows, and then there's a 15-minute breaker that held from the 10 to 2 short was very 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 nice. Like here would have been your 15-minute breaker. This would have been up into your retest, and then you could look at a 2 a.m. as soon as that candle closed. This was your 4 o'clock manipulation higher, and then your distribution down. I was not awake. That's something I probably would have taken if I got some kind of a sign. But that's cool to see. But yeah, for as far as today, well, it looks like maybe a continuation model. I know we've said this before. We're like, oh, it looks like a potential continuation model, and then it ends up being a bullish candle, and then we look for and then we look for long. So for now, it would be a bullish continuation. I would like to see us close below London though. I would like to see this hourly close below London to be like fairly certain. And then still think PDL and those weekly lows are still our targets down there. Whether we get down to the lows today, I hope so, but and hopefully there's some kind of opportunity. Let's check out where our negative fours are. It is dumping. Yeah, so I took a short up here. I took this short here, and then I got down to here and then went break even. I got stopped break even on the move back up after a trim here. I was going for a London, so that was the only trade I've taken so far. And but yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully, this thing just doesn't go straight to a target. Hopefully. All right, I gotta set the copy trader here. AMD, looking to see what happens at 10. Yeah, 10 o'clock. Trend day down to those 24,200 lows would be nice. That would be nice. Like I said, we'll see how this hourly closes at 10. I already think that's where we're going. But we'll see if 10 o'clock gives us any kind of retrace, maybe a retest of London or something like that. Like at -4 sits, what, just below PDL? It's a good sign. And -8 takes us to those weekly targets, at least the first weekly target. Still think down here to that 24,250 level on the higher time frame here. Remember, we've had this bias for 3 weeks now, just based off that weekly chart. We'll be having tacos later for sure, Perry. What up, Perry? Been a minute. Been a minute. There's just nothing here unless you're chasing. Don't get caught chasing. Yeah, it's big candles. A retrace will have you in some serious drawdown here. The other reason I didn't really trust that last pump was if you looked here, actually NQ had an hourly swing, but ES did not. But all right, let's check gold quick. Always look at gold. Gold with maybe the same thing. We'll see how this hourly, unless this hourly closes. This hourly closes bullish like this. You could have a nice, especially off of probably 50. Yeah, definitely 50% of this entire swing that where it's getting that bounce. 4 hours going to close bearish though, so you're not going to have too much of a confluence going on there. Wow. Yeah, we do have the SMT on PDL or not right now. See if that gives us a retrace. Another reason not to chase now. Remember, just respect for your previous day equilibrium is where we're currently still rejecting. A 20? Damn, doggo. All right, I'm gonna get my trigger marked for -4. We're already getting close to it. What is it? 6:38 today. Put her on 53. Give us a trigger. All right. I always hate when -4 is like a little bit below PDL, but that's usually a good sign because then you can usually stab the low, trigger, retrace. Everyone thinks reversal, and then we go back to a -4. Kind of working on a breaker here to the upside. Where's 50 set? I don't know if we really get 50 though. Imagine maybe just a retest of London, but this is good. That's what we want to see. Even if that hourly closes bearish. If the hourly closes bearish, then I'm still for. And then I still want PDL even with the SMT. I would just expect ES to send us like 50 back into some kind of premium, unless this hourly closes bullish, right? If this hourly closes back up inside the range here, then I'm not looking for a short. But if this hourly is still telling me bearish and the 4 hours still telling me bearish, which right now it's an outside 4-hour candle, then I'm still okay looking for shorts. But if it closes, if this SMT is enough to put us back up here, then there's a chance that ES wants a London high, and we kind of go back into talking about maybe we're just going to sit inside of a range until NVIDIA. So your 400 is at 675. Your -4, I'm assuming. Make sure you're fibbing out that it's -4.045. Why that extra 4 100s. I'm not sure, but yeah, just make sure you have that as well, and make sure you're doing it on NQ. Yep, that's what's setting us up right now, Tom. Yep, the SMT looks like we just hit 50. There won't be any clear and obvious breaker here. Back to the upside. The only breaker you could get is if we close back above these highs. It's 4.045. So make sure you have this. Don't mind that. But like right here, minus 4.045. It's a hell of a pump. There was no way to get in this. Not that I would have taken it probably anyway, but even if you were trying to take like the 30-second breaker, there's not even a retest. You would have had to chase when we just got the breaker here, and then you're still sitting with a 70-point stop. All right, doggo. I already forget what I said. So something crazy does happen where we end up closing back over these highs, and ES takes London high. If we close back over here and you get the breaker, if 10 o'clock wants to like close up here, remember I'm just always working out like, okay, what was my short opportunity? Well, obviously it doesn't look like we're going to close back under here on the hourly. Still could, of course, but if we do, otherwise I'm looking for a close over here. I'll look for 10 o'clock to manipulate down to this breaker ish. If it would be a 15 and a 5-minute breaker, and then I can still target up to a -4. So that's the two opportunities, and I'll just wait. And the hourly will tell me which one I can actually target. I still got -4 sitting to the upside as the good target, and I still have PDL -4 to the downside. Granted, PDL is now in a blink of an eye 250 points away. He's not talking to you, Hidalgo. He's talking about options and Greeks. Like, just because he said 720, don't get all mad here. And someone mentions 20 in the chat, and Doggo loses it. I know. Oh, nope. Insane. I say I did not see that, but it's the beauty of waiting too. I don't know. I know it's like you're an inverse trader and you caught like, I don't know why you would take that, but it's a hell of a chase. It's just such a chase play there. But it's the only thing I can see. I guess it made a 1-minute breaker to go with it, but all right, there goes the highs. There goes the first highs from the manipulation before London low. or I should say 8 o'clock high, which we know is usually good targets. Have we taken wizards 1 o'clock range? Looks like we have. Yeah, we've taken both sides of that already. All right, so now I'm just watching. What does the 5 minute do? Does the 5 minute want to give us a close over about what 7 a.m. high? Insane. Yeah, I remember yesterday we kind of left relative equal highs up there as well on the daily. This high on ES got very, very, very close. So could absolutely be your. So yeah, you do have. There's no SMT up there. You got this. ES still lagging a lot here, but compared to NQ, there's a good close. So if we get like a 10 o'clock open and we get any kind of manipulation down to like midnight, back inside these highs, this high, basically anywhere inside of here, we'll look for a 5 minute swing back to the upside to a -4. And then we'll draw our trigger to the other side, which would be 61.75. No, that's an hourly candle. That's what's ES looking like on the hourly? About the same thing, but with the SMT. Okay, so if you get ES closing above the hourly, then that should really cement back to. I mean, those previous days highs would be a draw because there's nothing else. Like if ES is closing above London here, like what else are we trying to go up to? Obviously, you'll probably get a retrace at this order block, but that's about it. I would still say higher. A pump for the State of the Union? No. Yeah. Maybe, Casey, maybe. This is wild. The opportunity I've seen so far was the dump pre-market right here. Here, and then obviously this short up here. But yeah, exactly. Exactly. HH for sure. Yeah, this would be a big old hourly breaker. Like I said, hourly 15, everything inside of here. So any kind of retrace at 10 o'clock, any kind of manipulation down inside of here with like a swing back up, is a good trade. Probably out of this 5 minute busy. Let's hope we leave -4 for it, but still got 13 minutes yet, and this thing's on a mission. Well, it looks like we just triggered. Nope, missed it. It is a new Monday, yeah. Yeah. Yesterday was decent though. Yesterday turned out decent. Still just an inside day. Obviously that's not an inside day because the SMT with ES, but all right, so there's the trigger. See if we get any kind of retrace now. Be a big old retrace. Be about 40 points. Remember, I like to see at least like 20 points. Remember yesterday we only got like a 15-point retrace. See if we get down to like 30, what, 31.75. So we hit about 20 points. I just want to see what. I don't know if it's gonna wait for us, but like I said, there are times where we do get bigger retraces. 50 to 100 points. Hopefully, it's back down. And she just goes. She just goes. Even if we go hit -4, you know, if and then the hourly is the hourlies would obviously if we hit -4, the hourly is most likely close super bullish. I'm still okay looking for any kind of continuation model off of that, off of the fib of the hourly. Yeah, that would be best case, I think. Yeah, like inside of this 5 minute BISI, you're basically back inside what will be the hourly breaker, 15 breaker, just basically what old people would people just say prior resistance turn support. Basically, that's all a breaker is, right? And then basically back down to midnight inside of here. You get a 5 minute swing like off of midnight, then I could see that, especially leaving -4 up here could be nice. And this would be a spot where I would potentially enter a trade before 10 o'clock. The only time I look at I'll usually enter a trade. The only time I will enter a trade before 10 o'clock is for -4. So we'll see if we get a 5 minute any kind of 5 minute swing out of this BISI. I think is a good shot to take. So we'll look for a 5 minute candle to stab inside of here and then close back out of this BISI. Yeah. Pretty much, Doc. Pretty much. Not always. I see what you're saying. It's yeah, of course, not always, but all right. So let's see if we get inside this BISI. I like that. I like this. I like this pullback here. Usually, I would just like get in. Like I would just like grab like a micro or two here. But this is a big range. So I'll wait. I'm actually going to have. I'm gonna have a micro sitting here, and then I'll add a few more if we get the 5 minute swing out of it, and then stops will just go below that low, whatever that 5 minute swing low is. If we can even get down to this BISI, of course. Take 5 off of -4. All right. You mean for a short? I got you. Is it only at 720? Yeah, 90 point FEG. That's why I'll just take a micro here. I'll take a micro. That at least gives me a starter position, and then like if it just hits the BISI and goes, I still get a chunk. I still get a chunk. Otherwise, I'll add, and then I'll add. So what I'll do is I will add probably 2 or 3 contracts if we get a 5 minute swing out of it, and then like I'll play those contracts separately from the one micro. Like so, for example, I'll enter a micro here at this BISI. If we get a 5 minute swing back out of it, obviously I'll enter somewhere in here. Now I'll add like 2 or 3 contracts. I guess it depends what the size of this is. And then just those contracts that I added, I'll go for a stop here, and I'll still ride that one micro. And then maybe retry again on like the next 5 minute swing, because that's how confident I am in -4. But like one micro, I'm not going to get killed. Like I could write this whole thing here and be down $200, with the opportunity to potentially add. All right, so I am in one there. And we'll see if we get a 5 minute swing back out of it. So remember, we're looking for like a 30-second breaker, something of that sort. So I want to see a price back above here. And that's where I'll add. And then it'll be something like this, just a little chunk. Maybe, I mean, if you want to try to hold runners to, to higher, yeah, I'll try to hold one. Try to hold one runner. Try to take it up to like -6 previous day high. Like I said, for now, just one. and then we wait for confirmation to add anything. Because don't forget, we also have 10 o'clock coming up. So there's a chance that 10 o'clock wants to take, one more stab on these lows, go on stab and stab midnight and stuff, which is fine too, because then that makes this trade that much better. It'll, instead our entry could look something like this, and then we get more points to the upside. So I'm cool with either way, but I still get a chunk even if it just goes without any kind of entry here. $25.78. What do you got there, Doc? Oh, finishing that. Oh, okay, I see it. Yeah, you want to fill this gap. Actually, the close. Yeah, you go from the close. All right, so still nothing yet. Nice. No breaker given, which is why we wait for the breaker. It's the gap fill, doggo. Yesterday, it's basically it's the fill of the NWOG. We might have to wait until 10 o'clock here. But here comes midnight. We got our midnight wish. Still going to be a bullish hourly close. Got filled at midnight. Nice. See, that's not a bad spot to, like, if you didn't want to just get at that the Bissy, you could have had one sitting right at midnight, and then you can add later too. See, like right now I'm down $80. $80, and I'm in a spot where I have a good feeling that we're going to bounce out of it, and this is okay. Like, I mean, because even if this closes bearish here, that's perfect. 10 o'clock can open up, manipulate us down, take this low, and then guess what? This is your 10 o'clock wick inside of your 10 o'clock range, which looks like this, or your 9 o'clock range. Sorry, and your 25's here. Maybe we go down to 50. 50 would be a hell of a dig, but look, you're already at that spot where you're looking for that continuation. So you might just have like a small stab on this 5-minute low, and then you go. But like inside of here, I don't mind adding like one starter position inside of midnight, inside of retest of London. You got 8:30 here. You got the breaker. You got everything here. What's gonna? I can't say what's gonna suck, but if this turns into a 5-minute swing and then we go to 10 o'clock, good chance that we could run this low again. But if there's a breaker, I'll take it. Like, there's not really a breaker until we get back up here. But remember, like, we don't have to take a low. We don't have to take like a swing low. Like, it's not like 10 o'clock has to open and has to go to a swing low or a swing high as part of its manipulation. Like, we could have this thing pump all the way up here. 10 o'clock opens here, and then your manipulation is simply just the retest of the breaker, and whatever else is sitting here, and then that's your manipulation higher. We don't always have to take some kind of swing low. Like, you're just looking for some kind of dip into some point of interest for that manipulation, and then obviously continuation. A 1-minute breaker in the works. Yep, there is. There's a break. There's a 1-minute bearish breaker up here. So also to keep in mind where our 50% sits. 50% would be down to 829. Where was that Bissy at? 902. Nice. So I'm just gonna put a hard stop, like it 807, basically back down. Actually, let's go with just a clear 100 points would be 802. That would just be a $200 loss. And then if we come all the way down here, and then I will re-enter it just with a full on position when I get some kind of swing point saying back to the upside. So just in case like there's a Trump candle or anything crazy, I still want to have some kind of stop in place here, a spot where I say okay, maybe it's not ready to go up to a -4 yet, but it will. So I'll just sit back and wait for price to then give me some kind. So even if I don't think we'd go that low, but even if we do, I'm still okay. Like, okay, I might take a one micro, say I take 100.1 micro loss here, but then I can snag four micros back to the upside. I get all that back, and then I'm back green. So all right, 10 o'clock does take a low. It does take a low. Obviously closed bullish, 4-hour closed bullish. I'll be looking for something potentially out of here off of the open of this 4-hour candle. And okay, we're below the open as well there too. So now just sitting right at 802. And if we get tagged, we get tagged, and I'll wait for any kind of retrace. Let's see. So we did not put in the hourly breaker, right? So we did close back inside the hourly range. It's not exactly the most bullish thing. Doesn't mean we won't go back up, but just because it's still that outside candle. But like I would still be like, if I was looking at this from like an hourly standpoint, like we swept the highs second, and then we closed back inside. So we shall see. We're gonna the true power of -4 is gonna be on display here. It's a good test for it today. Be a good test. But here's 50% of that 9 a.m. candle. That's a good spot where we could potentially get if we get a swing point off of this, I'll add here. Because then I have 10 o'clock open. I have a nice manipulation down to 50% of that previous candle off of the 4-hour open, right? Remember when we were looking for a continuation on swings, these areas are very, very sensitive for price to retrace to and then look for continuation. So, and that happens to line up with, about 50% of the hourly candle. So there's a 5-minute swing point here. Like I said, I'm not adding anything here, but I want to see, I would need to see this price close back up inside of here. And then to potentially add. Basically, we would also have the 30-second breaker as well. That's probably the better breaker. I'll take it if we just get back above here. And I'll add there if we get that. And stops will have to go below this low. Big range. So it's watch your sizing. This be the sign right here. Do we get the breaker? That's why we wait for the breaker here, because remember, we can always just keep wicking it, and then we just continue lower. So what do we got? We got a minute and a half here. Minute and a half here. So for my first position, the 1 micro, even if we just get a 5-minute swing here, I don't care about the breaker. I'm still gonna put that 1 micro stop from 802 to 80, just basically to this 5-minute low. Because I really if we come back for that low, I would guess that means lower. So I would want to, if we put in a swing here, I would not want to see price back here. So my original position of 1 micro goes back to here if this closes back inside here. No, if we close below, I know that means we could have another swipe. So I'll still just hold on to it and just keep the 802 stop there. So far, struggling to make the breaker. Doesn't mean we won't, but this is what you kind of see. Like you see us like wick up into it a few times, and then we'll go down and take a night, and then we'll go down and take another low. Not saying that's what happens here, but this is what you see a lot. That's why waiting for that breaker is pretty important. The good sign is you have barely any manipulation above the 10 o'clock open here. Everything's below. So it's just a matter of time here, I think. How did ES close hourly? Yeah, same thing. Just close back inside. Same for the 4 hour. So really some indecision from both indices here, but I said simply because of -4 is why I'm still okay looking for a trade here, or adding to a trade. I should say. Um, well, I got in at the 5 minute Bissy, the 5 minute Bissy here, with just one contract, one micro, and then I'm looking to add to my full position if we get this breaker here, targeting -4, and it'll look something like this. About a 1.5 R, it looks like. Yeah, it's actually a little bit higher. The R is a little bit higher because of my additional entry up here. So let's see if we get a Bissy here. This thing goes without me. All right. So if we can get a breaker here, we got to close over. All right. So I'm just going to hop in there. Hop in there. So we got 3 contracts total. Basically, just watch your sizing. Just watch your sizing, because this, I mean, it's a pretty big stop. So like a contract or two. And we're looking for this. So this is your 30-second unicorn here now that we're looking to hold. All right, her. And then obviously this is your breaker. And we'll look for price to hopefully expand up. We did just hit a 5-minute civvy. So what I want to see is I do not want to see us close back below this civvy, right? I want to see strength. I want to see us close inside of here. I don't want to see us close underneath, back under here. That would not be a good sign. It did fail to make the 1-minute breaker. It did. Yep. Yeah, the 1-minute breaker is like this 30-second here. So we'll see. I don't like that it failed to make the 1 minute with inside that 5-minute cibby, but that's why I stopped. Just stay at the low. Stay at the low and let her play out. Like everything's still okay here. You did not get a 5-minute swing here though. You did not get a 5-minute swing there. So kind of a little off there, but you're still getting a move off of 50%. -4 is higher, and the other thing is time here, right? You have 10 o'clock open here, and where did price spend most of its time? Underneath the open. So you're trading on the side of time here too. Looks like it's going to dump. Maybe. Building up a lot of LR here. I did not realize we did not get a 5-minute swing there. I was busy watching the breaker. But we'll see. We're already in it now. Already in now. And we got a breaker off 50, so just where you have to come back to your what have you seen in back testing based off of 50% of hourlies and -4, right? That's the big thing here is believing in old -4 here. In versus 5, it should be okay. Did not inverse it. I like that we closed inside of it though, right? We did not close below it. Like that would have been bearish. If we close below it, if we wick inside of it and close below it, that's bearish, right? Uh, going to move stops to 835 now, just under these lows. Put a little risk management on here. Yeah. So now our trade just looks like this. Let's get rid of this. Can't stand looking at that. We also got the 1 minute breaker now too. So we've got the 1 minute breaker on our side. I'd like to see us close above this 1 minute though too. Because it looks like, yeah, we did. We still did. Nice. So back to our original entry. -2 is 972. Got it. Almost to -4. Nice. You're talking -2. Okay. Yeah, I see it. I like it. Remember, it's just more of a time play. Time play. They're saying a time play off of manipulation, off of 50%, expecting higher, just because of -4. Simple as that. Where's -1 sit? If nine, I guess if 972 is -2, that would put 920 got in the way. Did you short it? You're long right now? Yeah. The minute one -4. I'm talking about -4 on the 30-second opening range candle. My one setup for life model. Not anything, not any kind of manipulation leg -4. Nothing like that. Totally different. Basically fibbed out the first 30-second candle of the day and -4 of that. Not a good look here. Not a good look. Looking for see. Oops. Sorry, I missed the YouTube comments there. There we go. Looking for 72. Yep. Almost CB the lower -4. We just didn't get we didn't get close enough. We didn't trigger, but really here. So we just put in a 5-minute swing here with a 30-second breaker to the downside. See if it means anything. We're floating between the breakers now. Basically just sitting in here. It's just let her play out. Yep, 5-minute swing off the civvy. Sure is. We shall see. Like there are times when, what time is it? It's 10:15. There are times where you'll see like you'll think this can be the hourly low, and we'll actually restab it at like 10:15, and then get the actual real move. So we'll see if that happens. I would not be opposed if like right now there's nothing there. You know, it's the trade still. The trade's still fine, right? Nothing, no stop out or anything yet. But if we would stop out and take this low and I get another swing back to the upside, I would absolutely re-enter. That's how much I believe in a -4. You do not want to fade -4. You do not want to fade it. For some reason, it's an absolute magnet. Let's be watching this 1 minute now. We did not take that 5-minute swing low, so chance that we do come back for that 5-minute low. And obviously a 1 minute devil's mark here, but we'll see. Right, 5-minute swing low. We didn't take that low, so me mentally prepared, like, oh, and I know we can come back and put in a wick on this 1 minute and pay and take that 5-minute low again, just like the swing down here. Right, this is actually a 5-minute, a 5-minute swing. So price could want to come back here, take it, and then put in the real move. But like I said, there's no emotion here, no emotion. This is where back testing and everything comes into a play. It's sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it's not, and you just know over time your edge is going to play out. And I would not want to be shorting through this. I can tell you that much. I would not want to be shorting like back through all this consolidation inside the breakers. I would not want to be shorting through it. But there goes that 5-minute low, right? Like mentally prepare. Oh, I guess not yet, but it looks like we should take it. But like I'm okay. I understand price can come back for that. Looks like we might just stay into some 10 o'clock shop here and I get the real move at 11 o'clock at this pace. It's already 10:20. Is it earnings today or is it tomorrow for Nvidia? Anybody know? It's okay. still like for me, this is still just an inside 5-minute candle. We have not made a 5-minute swing point the whole way up. If we would, that's when I would move my stop. But oh, it's some okay. I thought it was yeah. I was gonna say Nvidia is usually always Wednesday. It'd be weird if it was a Tuesday. Uh, so trigger what triggers it is just 15 points from it. You'll see this so many times. We'll get within 15 points of it, and then we'll CB it, which CB stands for cock block. From getting it, well, you because and then you'll have you'll have price retrace like this, and then you'll go back for it. All right, we need the inverse traders on our side here. Come on, inverse traders. Come on. Uh, uh, where's Dodgy when you need him? I don't think that's a trade that I don't think that's I don't think that's a textbook inverse trade though. He didn't really sweep anything. He's in. Oh, okay, yeah. In a Lambo browsing Tinder. Damn. Hilarious. Hilarious. Tinder for dude. 15-minute breaker on ES. Let's see. Do we have a breaker on ES? We do. Yeah. This whole thing's like a big 15-minute breaker. Like I said, the whole move up was just a big breaker. That's why, like, it's just you expect to bounce inside of this range. It's just how deep is it going to dig first? But oh, that's a yes. All right. Because actually, no, it's actually a fantastic question, Mule. I actually, you're saying why not buy stop? Like, are you talking like buy stop the 15-point trigger? Is that what you're talking about? No idea, Chad. Mark mentioned it to us one time, and then we just noticed how Price likes to respect it a lot of the time. So, no idea why. Yeah, 953. Right here, this a red line. No idea why, but if you go back and watch and then like look at the 953, you'll see Price respect it. Not as good as like midnight or like 830, but you'll see Price respect there quite a bit. And I'm not sure if we're gonna get if when we get to -4. I'm not sure if we're gonna how slow this thing's going. I don't even know if we're gonna have much in terms of continuation after this. We'll see. Oh, the source. Okay, yeah, I gotcha. Oh, buy sell the rejection high. I mean, I guess you. Oh, you're saying. Okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying put a buy stop right here, and then just take your 15 points. Is that what you're saying? Oh, put it on now. Maybe. I'm not sure. I would have to back test it, but so what I did when me and my brother back tested this, we actually back tested. We back tested we back tested just buy stopping, putting a buy stop at the 15 points and just taking your 15 points and having a good day. Obviously, you'll have to deal with drawdown like this, but like if you have like a dedicated account for it, you can take it and you like the biggest drawdown I ever seen was I think 270 points in all of 2025. So even if you take one micro and price still came back on that 270 point day, which happened to be during the remember when Trump the tariffs of last April were going on, and Asia was giving us 200 point candles. That was when that happened. But even if you take like a micro, it still came back for it. It sounds crazy, a 270 point stop, but like if you have a dedicated account just for like -4, it's good. It's gonna be it's still gonna be good. As well as we also back tested just putting a buy limit at 20 points lower than the trigger, and then you're just looking for your 35 points. And obviously, that returned a little bit better results. That's why I like it had a little bit better drawdown than just waiting for the 20 point retrace. But I'm not sure. Yeah, like the high and stuff. I mean, what you said, Mule. I'm not sure. I would have to back test it, but this just today just comes down to believing in the power of -4. And 10 a.m. open hits 50. Body's respected on the 1 minute. That's a hindsight though. By the way, I didn't even notice that until now. But that's a good sign. And then you open up. You're still expecting higher, so you want to see this dump first. As hard as it is to watch, you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to long this. It's what you want to see. You got to be you have to be comfortable with seeing that. I don't even have my sell limits in. I should probably get those put in here. I probably just jinxed it. Watch. Just jinxed the hell out of it. We're gonna have another CB. Nice, Junior. Nice. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. When you take -4, you have to be like, if you're just gonna get in at like a random fair value or something, that's why I like to entry position. That's very very light, and then that way, in case if it just goes and I don't get any kind of like swing point for me to enter, I still get a little. I still get a little chunk, right? But all right, so my M and Qs are out there. I am all out there. And if you're in a mini, which I don't know why you'd be in a mini. Holy cow! Kudos to you. Wait for -4 to hit. Do not sell early. That will hit. There you go. That's not the trade that I envisioned today, but we will take it. We'll take it. Holy cow! Wizard, did that get you did you get your payout there? I think Wizard needed that for a 3K payout. He texted me, dude. He texted me halfway through that when we're slowing down here. He texted me. He's like, -4 is gonna keep me from getting a payout. I'm gonna be so salty mother effer. Well, there you go, Wizard. There you go. You know the power, Doc. You know the power. Nice, Wizard. Congrats. Let's go. Not the prettiest trade. Not the prettiest. Not my prettiest trade of all time for sure. But we'll take it. We will take it. Oh, another $700 payout from Tradeify. So, yep, sure is, Doc. I'm telling you guys, never fade. If we trigger -4, do not freaking fade it. If there's anything to learn from this week, next week, anything. If you get within 15 points, do not fade it. There is like a 97% chance we return to it. Wizard and I have spent hours and hours, probably 30 hours back testing it. Probably more than that, to be honest. But it can be. That's why it's like I know it's like cliche, but if I could only trade one setup the rest of my life, it would be this -4. Yeah, Paul. I love Tradeify. They're my favorite. They're my favorite firm right now with those daily payouts. 90-10 on a daily payout's pretty sick. Copy trade them, and like each of those two trades just hit for 350 for me. So it's $700 I can request. It'll be in the bank account tonight around 9 o'clock. Oh, we don't love Mike's mom, Hidalgo. We love Marco's mom, though. No offense, Mike. the barbarian, but we're talking about Marco's mom. uh, all right, let's see if we we'll see if we get continuation now. We should push up if you have a runner, hold it for that new wog fill. That should be the draw. I'm personally all out. I got my chunk. Um, what up, Monty? We ended up just taking. We took two. Well, we didn't really take two things. We just took the -4 play. We took this. We took this sketchy ass 30-second breaker. Stop at the low, and then we just took it up to a -4, or the 1 minute breaker. Yeah, Doc, what breaker did you take? You take the 957, or did you consider the 950 or the 959? Off the blue vector, 959. Okay, nice. Yep. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Look how the 1 minute, look how the 1 minute bodies held that 1 minute breaker. Very, very clean. See why you just gotta trust your like you start to get a little nervous. You're like, damn, this ain't gonna work out, and then like you just gotta let it go. You just gotta let it go. The trades are already on. Do not move your stop because you're emotional. Let it go. If you're right, you're right. Right. We had time on our side. The only thing we didn't have on our side is we did not have a 5 minute swing. Right. This was not a 5 minute swing. Literally just a breaker combined with time is what that was, and 50%. 50% in time. So if you so that's the three things you should learn. You should take from today: paying attention to time when those new hourly candles open, what happens around 50%, and do not fade -4 after you get within 15 points of it. It is a magnet. What's CVD candlesticks? I have no idea what that is. Oh, are you referring to the vectors? I think that's what you're referring to. You're referring to Monty's vectors. They're basically just high volume candles. Correct me if I'm wrong, Monty, but I believe that's all they are really. Yeah, nice. Who all caught a chunk of that? Who all caught a chunk of that? And if you did not get in like where I did, where did you enter, or what kind of confirmation did you wait for? Maybe you waited for the 1 minute inverse. But nice, Lissa. Definitely sketchy. Not necessarily sketchy, but it's just the usually you like to see breaker retest go. You don't like to see this thing hanging out here. But you soup the 50%. You have some big balls, my friend. You have some big balls. I know we were, Doc. I know we were. Because we made this 1 minute breaker to the downside. Yeah. So I know I've seen that. Yeah. I guess yeah, so that makes sense. Like you make the breaker here, you mitigate up to here. This sends you back down to, retest all your consolidation. Remember I said like even here, I don't care how bearish this looks here, I would not want to be shorting back through here, right? You're still just consolidating in this breaker. Like price will you'll notice this with breakers a lot. Like sometimes you'll just tap it and go. Sometimes you'll sit here and just chop away, and you'll think, "Man, I'm gonna get stopped," or it's gonna go stab the low again. Sometimes it will, but as long as like you have context and everything, it's a good trade whether you get stopped or not. You had reason right here, like I said, time 50%, and we expected higher because of our draw up to -4 there, but. Yep. -4. Make sure you have -4.045. So my level is, I think it was 90. It's, oh my gosh, can't see it. That's a -8. 976.75. Yep, the SMT was nice down here. The only entry was if you chase this 30-second breaker. 30-second breaker, or you chase this 1 minute inverse. Like me, I'm not chasing that. So I'm not chasing it. I'll find it. I'll find a different trade. But so the 30-second here. So you just go to your 930. 30-second candle, fib it out, and you want just make sure you have. I need to save this. Actually, let's save this right now because I'm tired of dealing with that every single time. 30-second OR. All right, and then you'll see that fib. Let me close this out. That fib just takes you up to -4 right there. Does that make sense, Dustin? I'm guessing that you just have. I'm guessing you have -4 and not -4.045 would be my guess. So make sure you have that right. And remember, like you want to make sure that you get most of your position off at -4, unless you have like high conviction and maybe like I said, leave a runner for this new wog fill. It's probably where it's where we should go here. But there'll be a lot of days where like there's been some days where we'll hit -4 to the upside, not even close above it, and then we'll go all the way back down to -4 to the downside. I've got some screenshots of that happening. I don't know what like I said, I don't know what it is about -4, but there's something there. Like I said, the only thing that I've heard is the CME the CME's sees the true opening range of New York session as the first 30 seconds of New York Open. So I'm assuming that's why -4 is there. Oh yeah, okay, good stuff, Dustin. Then. Yep, exactly, Fran. I mean, -4 is just I think -4 because we know like -4 is it's a deep extension of anything, whether it be just a manipulation swing, the IB, any kind of deviation. -4, is usually going to have some kind of resistance there at least. So it makes sense to me. But other than that, yeah. So all we can look for now. I'm done. I'm not gonna take anything. I'm not gonna take anything else. I got my chunk. But if you're still looking for a trade, if you didn't take anything in there, you have 11 o'clock continuation model coming up, potentially, depending on how this hourly closes. If it's hourly closed inside here, I would just walk away. This closes back inside here. You're gonna retrace back inside of here, and you're probably just gonna start chopping. But if we close above here, you can then look for it's not the fib that I want. You guys already know what I'm going for. 25.50. Look for 11 o'clock to open somewhere up here. 25, maybe 50. Get your ass long up to that end wog fill. Same kind of concept. You can look for a breaker off of it. You can look for that 5-minute swing off of it. But teach me. I anchored the 30-second. It's just a 30-second candle. I hope you've seen. I just put that in there, so hopefully you have seen that there. But about a 1.5 hour trade. A little, like I said, a little less because of obviously the first entry up here. So it makes it probably like a 1.3. But cool. So we caught, well, what was that? Entered at 82, and we got out at I forget what it was. It's almost 90 points there. Yeah, I tried to make that video short and sweet too. So yeah, it shouldn't take you long if anybody still has questions on that -4. But see, like that's what I love about the -4. Like even if I miss, like obviously there was no entry on this PDL SMT, I still have -4 that like there -4 is going to be there every single day as some kind of draw on a price. You don't have to target it every day, but maybe you're already long for something and you can just use it as a blind target. Like you get to the chart slate, you can be like, okay, I'm not sure where PDL and stuff is. Maybe you probably shouldn't be trading if you don't have, if you don't know where your PDH and PDLs are. But you can still have that -4 marked as an easy liquidity target any day. You cannot stand the first 10 minutes. Oh yeah, the whole first half hour. It's just the same thing happened yesterday. Remember, I was talking about, we could look for continuation longs to PDL today because this thing was all the way down here. This hourly candle was looking bearish as hell. And I was like, well, I'm not going to say anything yet because this could absolutely just turn around. Did the same thing yesterday, and there we are. Basically back. Just we're still stuck in this daily range. So PDH is just PDH is also a good target above. I didn't realize PDH is below the NWOG, which makes sense, right? Because you still have here where we swept and closed back inside, but I was still leaning more bearish based off of London reversing off of 50 there. But yep, sure is A1, sure is. But this looks like a good dealing range here. This looks like a nice range for 11 o'clock to close, manipulate down into, and then look for continuation long, assuming PDL is still there or PDH. Sorry. So that's what I'd be looking for. But I'm personally going to be done trading. We'll hang out for a little bit though. This is funny though. Like even though I was in like here with that first micro, it's like I know 10 o'clock could potentially hurt, right? 10 o'clock's going to 10 o'clock has that ability to give us some kind of bigger manipulation, and I just have to be okay with it. But 10 o'clock could give us a small wick and then just rip too. But like you just had to be okay with it. But yeah. Uh, Damn, Wizard, you fell. Is Wizard still in here? Yeah, he's gone. If that dude's got the discipline of he's $20 short on his 3K payout. He's like, I'm done until tomorrow. Like you are that's some damn good there's some damn good discipline. I wouldn't even be able to not try to get $20. That's all right. So we're gonna price read this now. We can see. So I see us. Obviously, we hit this 5-minute BISI. We close back above it. See as long as there's a 30-second. Oh my gosh, there's no 30-second breaker yet. But we'll see if that means this low is safe. Just kind of price read now until 11. Or if you're long, you're kind of just watching this. But yep, exactly, KC. Hate being in trades. I hate being in a trade that I took like in the previous hour in like the first 15 minutes. And I hate when that trade goes into the next hour because then I know I'm gonna have to deal with some kind of hourly manipulation bull crap. But yeah, but London was very, very nice last night. Like I said, I'm gonna try to stream London tonight. So be there or be square. We'll see if I'm actually there. I do plan on it though. But yeah, just tonight. I mean, Wizard and I wake up every single night at 3 o'clock at 3 a.m. Just to watch. Well, basically, I wake up and I see what is this candle doing right here? What is this 10 o'clock to a 2 a.m. candle doing? If this is an inside candle, I'm just going back to bed. I'm not going to sit in a London shop. But if we get a 4-hour swing like this, you already know. I'm looking for a retrace back up in here if there's a 15-minute breaker, and I'm looking for London continue back down. And then I also seen this today where this is your daily range, and you're getting that 4-hour swing point right off of previous day equilibrium. And then if you go down to here, you had a nice 15-minute breaker here. That's your unicorn where you could have entered and got back lower, right? So I went over when stream started. I wouldn't have woke up until like 3 o'clock my time, but 2 a.m. Sorry, 1 a.m. my time, but 2 a.m. opens up here. What do you get? Manipulation for the first 45 minutes down, or you get that 4-hour candle does what? Creates that 4-hour wick up here, and then pushes down, right? So right out of here, I would be looking for shorts out of here. I got a 4-hour swing with a 15-minute breaker. This is your breaker. these two candles here are your breaker, along with these two candles here, along with your unicorn should be sitting there as well. So like any kind of like the 15-minute swing or like a 5-minute swing out of here is something that I would have traded that I would have tried, but otherwise, if that's like I said, if that's an inside candle, I'm just going back to bed. But usually, you can catch good London distribution based off of that 10 o'clock to 2 a.m. 4-hour candle. All right, so it looks like we're just going to continue pushing. There you go. See how just watching how this thing closed above the Cibi, just your body close, and we go back to the high. Well, she knows. Yeah, she knows if she wants all these projects done in the backyard, I got to keep trading. That's the secret to stay on the charts. Same thing though. No, it's same. It's the same thing here. All right. So yeah, what 10:45? Full port silver. Yeah, yeah. Full port silver and then blow the entire payout. That's something I would do. Showing a different level. Make sure you anchor it correctly, Tom. If you have negative 4.045, okay, make sure you have the negative drawn because remember when you draw a fib. Sorry, I know we're kind of getting away from. We're just kind of chopping here. Probably just waiting for 11 o'clock. Hopefully, take these lows and then we get a long setup. Um, Make sure you have it drawn correctly. So obviously, you would draw it, just the candle. But make sure that if you have 4.045, it's actually going to show you 3.045, right? Because it's like so like if you put 4.0445 from the one extension here, make sure you draw it right to where the zero is on the side is on the top. Otherwise, you need to put in 5.045. Does that make sense? Because so like if I want to see negative 4.045 from here, I need to put 5.0445 from a zero. That I need to put minus 4.045. Just the way the fib is. That might be the issue. I'm not sure if that's the issue or not, but that's my guess. Just because you said 4.045 instead of negative. All right, so we're probably gonna chop it up here until 11 o'clock. Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's why. Make sure you change the other one to make sure you turn the positive ones to 5.0445. And that way and that way you have the extension both ways. Man, but if today shows anything. It's showing confidence that you gain just from back testing, and knowing what your edge is. Feels pretty damn good. All right, let's check Natty quick. See what Natty did today. Natty just expanding. Kind of a fake hour. It had a fake hourly swing here. Yeah, still nothing. Still nothing. Gold gave us a nice swing here. Obviously, it was busy on NQ, but it looks like 50%. Almost. And we'll see if there's a 5-minute breaker in here. It's all good, tea time. It's all good. Look at that. Man, that's textbook on gold. That is textbook. That looks so much better than the NQ. That's what you want to see right there. Right back to that 5-minute unicorn, 5-minute breaker, continuation higher. Nice. Looks a lot cleaner, but it's a good example of what we're looking for right there. But for now, yeah, 10 minutes. We'll see what happens. You're measuring the wrong all this time. I was doing the 30. Yeah. Make sure you make sure you get the right 30-second candle. Yep. It's always the 9:30:00 to 9:30:30 candle. First 30 seconds. That's why I just use the indicator, because I don't want to be wrong. Like there'll be days where I was, where I would accidentally do the the 9:30:30 candle instead, or I would fib the 1 minute instead, or I would fib the first minute candle, and the indicator just makes it. I look for that cute little purple line every single day. All right, so let's see what we're sitting at. Anybody have any questions about today, about anything? Yep, that's what I'm looking for. Compound, looking for hourly continuation here. Probably out of this, either out of this 5 minute, or we come back to basically your CIS. This is probably a good good CISD long here, which I think we kind of already tapped into it. But all right, so yeah, get ready to fib this out. Your 10 o'clock low to your 10 o'clock high, and then we'll just look for. I would personally wait for a 5-minute swing with a 30-second breaker, and then you have a nice small stop, and you're going for a previous day high. Yeah, the indicator is much easier. You don't have to remember, with the indicator, you don't have to have like everything else turned on. So you can go to here. You can turn all the London and stuff off. Just that's everything I personally like to see. But you can just literally just run the deviations here, and just roll with that. Then it's always right. It is. It is. So you got 50% sitting inside of this 5-minute BISI. The CISD is basically this entire range of 5-minute candles here. So I mean, like I said, any kind of long out of this area, but we very well, since we're gonna close so bullish, I mean, we could act, we you know we're gonna open right at 25. We could have ended up with a small wick and go. But power three rules. I just look for. I don't trade in the direction of the first move of whatever time frame candle I'm looking to trade, which is typically the hourly. Like if the hourly is, if I'm looking like on this one today, if I'm looking for price to go higher, I want to see this thing dump when 10 o'clock opens, right? So this is a perfect example today. Like I do not want to see, and then once I see price start going like manipulate down a good amount, and then starts going back through the hourly open, I can kind of in my head, especially if we get a breaker, I can assume not always right. Trading nothing in trading is 100%, but with that breaker, I can then assume this should be the hour this hourly low. This should be the hourly low of my 10 o'clock candle because I have already manipulated below the open. I have now created a breaker to the upside, whether the 1 minute or the 30 second. So if I'm breaking structure to the upside after already having manipulation down, then I'm looking to get in line with price, assuming that I have context for price to go higher. If my draw is higher, that's exactly what I want to see, and I want to look to start engaging price after manipulation. It's basically just framing time, right? I want to see open do the opposite of where I am looking to engage price, where I'm thinking price is going to a go, and then that confirms that I am on the right side of time, right? Because I want to I want to see manipulation, and then I want to see distribution. I want to be a part. I want to get involved as close to that hourly wick as possible, and then I want to ride that entire body creation of that hourly candle. That's all it is. If you like I said, if you break this down, you'll see this is your hourly wick. This is the body. That's what you're trying to look and do every single time. You can, like, and then sometimes you can look to do it on the 4 hour, like in London last night, right? I'm looking on in London. You had a 4 hour swing here. You had a 4 hour swing here. 15-minute breaker confirmed that this high was safe. That's what I'm looking to engage price. And when what am I looking for? As soon as we get that 15-minute breaker, I'm then looking to get short inside of here on this candle's manipulation up to that breaker, which was sitting right here inside of this 4 hour candle. And then I'm looking for, we obviously didn't create much of a body here, but at one point, this was the 4 hour body, and you could roll it all the way down here. So just basically take whatever candle you're looking to trade. Whether you can go to the 5 minute, and like you'll notice the first 2 or 3 minutes of that 5 minute candle will be the fake move, and then the real move will happen the other way. Not always. Like you can have very small manipulations, right? But not always. But most. So basically, take whatever time frame you're on, whatever candle you're looking to trade, divide it by four. Divide it by four, and then somewhere around that first, divide by four. So the hourly is 15 minutes. Around 15 minutes after the hourly opens is when I'm looking for distribution to happen. That's when I'm looking for that breaker to happen. That's when I'm looking for price to confirm that it's ready to move the opposite way. Does that make sense? Basically, just divide the 4 hour by four, so around 3 a.m. That's why I get up at 3 a.m. for that 3 a.m. Distribution in London. I am looking to catch that 4 hour body, right? So, and then what? The same thing on the daily candle. What do we look for on the daily? We look for Asia, London to manipulate in the first portion of the day, and then we look for New York to distribute. All right, so just divide by four and go back and look, and you'll be amazed. It's just breaking down your higher time frame candles into your lower time frame entries, and just always be thinking about what you expect that hourly candle to do. Do you expect it to expand up? Okay, well then I want to see it open, dump, and then break back to the upside, and that's when I'll engage. Oh, the daily, I'm expecting the daily to manipulate up first. Okay, I'll wait for it to manipulate up first, and then I'm going to look for some higher. I'm going to look for like a 4 hour reversal out of it. So always be thinking about what you want your what you expect the higher time frame candle to look like based off of. I should just make this my bias video that I'm currently making. But basically, so if I'm expecting this hourly can if this thing closes bullish, I'm expecting the next candle to look like what? Manipulation, something like this down to 50, and then I'm looking for this is going to be ugly, and then I'm expecting this high to be the target, right? And then up to here. So once this candle opens, I expect a wick down here. Why? Because I'm bullish. I want to see price manipulate down first, maybe down to 50, and then I'm looking to get inside of that candle to write it back up to this hour's high and the creation of this body. Does that make sense? Is that clear? I know that was like a simple question, but I just went into like a 10-minute rant. But I think that was good. But just basically always be thinking about what your higher time frame candle is should look like based on how did the previous hourly candle close or the previous daily close. That's it. Always be thinking about that. And if you're always thinking about what your higher time frame candle should look like, you can then go to your 5 minute and look to engage. That's why I look for that five. That's why I look for that 5 minute breaker after hourly manipulation. That's why I look for a 15-minute breaker after the 4 hour manipulation. Because if I'm making a 15-minute breaker down after some kind of 4 hour swing, and I get a 4 hour swing point down, that 4 hour high should be safe. Its price is breaking back down to the up to the upside or the downside. That high should be safe, and that's why I say it's a good short, especially if you're coming off some kind of higher time off of some higher time frame level. So always be thinking about what your higher time frame candle should look like, and then go to your lower time frame and look on ways and PD arrays where you can then engage it. A lot of people will just sit here on the 5 minute all day, and they'll be like, well, we could go to this BISI or we could go to this BISI. But I don't know though. We do have rejection blocks down here that we could go to. We could go retest midnight. Like, it just clears up all that nonsense. That I say it and I make fun of that because that used to be me. That used to be me. like that used to be me streaming a year ago. I'd be like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I like this BISI. We could go down to here too. Or I mean, we have this VI all the way down here. I just don't know. This gives you clarity. You fib it out, you get some kind of swing point showing you the other way with a breaker. That's your sign to get into engage. That is your sign as long as as long as it agrees with what your hourly and your 4 hour chart is telling you. That's when you engage. You don't have to sit here and guess and just be like, I think we're gonna go higher out of this BISI. I'm just gonna long it. I'm just gonna long it and pray. I guess I'll put my stop down here. I guess I just don't want to see us go below this can. I'll just put my stop down here. This gives you so much more clarity. It gives you such a smaller stop. It's like if we get a 5 minute swing out of here, my stop's going to be 10 points off of this 5 minute candle. Do I care if I take a 10-point loss? Hell no, because I know in the long run, playing this type of stuff off of my levels and where I'm expecting price to go on the higher time frame, that it's going to play out in the long run. Simple as that. It makes watching your candle closes and watching for that breaker structure back through the hourly open or through whatever candle higher time frame open you're looking at, gives you so much more clarity. That's all you need to be successful in this shit. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. You don't need to look at every little thing and just be like, yeah, that's it. That's really it. The rock, yeah. I might have to save that. Hopefully that's saved, and we'll just turn that into a video. That's literally everything. I just went over my entire bias video right there, my entire bias video. But no, yeah. So for now, we should just continue up to. This is a previous day high. Actually, I think it is right. Yeah. Previous day high sitting up there. Actually, no. Previous day high is a little bit higher. Up to there and that NWOG fill. Anybody still in longs from the entry down here? But Yep, exactly, Tom. What is the next? What do I expect the next candle to do? And then wait for that lower time frame confirmation. And then if you're trading in line with what that higher time frame, what the previous higher time frame candle is telling you, you're going to be right more than you're wrong. And even when you're wrong, your stop's going to be so damn small that that your next winner is going to make up for that 3 times. So that's it. That's it. All right, I didn't even realize we're at 11 o'clock already. Interesting here. We just start pumping at 11 o'clock. So this goes like I guess what I'm thinking here. So now I'm kind of pivoting to okay, maybe 11 o'clock wants to open, manipulate up to the NWOG previous day high, and then maybe there's a reversal back down off of that. That's what I start. That's what kind of starts going through my head when I first see this move to the upside. But remember, where do we open at? Remember, if you open like around that 25%, what I say, there's a chance that we just have a small wick, a small wick, and then what does that small wick mean? Big expansion. So, I mean, that could also just be the case here, and there's just no way for you to engage that. All right, so if we look at what here, I'm good. Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed that when we open at 25 or even at 50 and it closes bullish above the previous hour, you don't always get like a nice clean manipulation down like we did here at 10 o'clock. But I think I'm gonna call it there, guys. Fantastic stream again. Hopefully you guys learned something. What a fun day, crazy day. Thought I don't really get nervous in trades. Even I got a little nervous down here. I got to admit, but we're green. Another payout's locked. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you guys learned something. That's the most important part. Again, I don't really care if you took the trades or not. Doesn't matter to me. As long as you will learn something, that's why I'm here, and I just enjoy doing it. So with that, guys, take care. Trade safe. And oh, it was 50% dot. Got it. And we'll see you guys London. Maybe. Peace.